Welcome, Christian Friedel. You are the lead in Jonathan Glazer's latest film, The Zone of Interest, that premiered earlier this year at the Cannes Film Festival and competition and got the second prize, the Grand Jury Prize, and it's now playing here at the Zurich Film Festival. In your film, you play a father, a husband, and a commandant of Auschwitz, Rudolf Höss, who is living with his family right next to the concentration camp. The film is haunting and wholly unique. It's a truly new perspective on World War II in a very overcrowded subgenre, I'd say. And I'd go so far to call it a modern masterpiece already.
Now, it's absolutely. Thank you so much. And it's all of this is true.
Yes. Glad we agree on this. Can you tell us how you went from playing a resistant fighter, George Elster, in 13 minutes to now on the other side of the spectrum, Rudolf Höss?
Yeah, it's a very interesting journey because it started with the White Ribbon. I played a school teacher in a movie set before the First World War starts. And you can see the children in the White Ribbon maybe as a future perpetrators of the Second World War. And then I played the Jewish character in the film Closed Season, Fleet the Nazis, and after that the resistance fighter Georg Elser, and now I changed the side. I think all of these characters are human beings, and I think in this project from Jonathan, it's so interesting that this is a movie about us, about human beings doing terrible things to other human beings, and to play Rudolf Höss as a human being, that was the challenge, and for me the experience I never forget. And yes, it's sometimes I'm a part of Babylon Berlin too, and it's set in this late 20s, early 30s, and it's an area we have to tell stories from the area. And I think this unique project, you said it's a piece of art. It's very unique. It's really important and relevant. And yeah, to be a part of this, I'm really glad and proud of it.
Yeah, perspective plays a main role in the film. We stay with the family. We don't really go across that wall. What I was wondering watching the film is, because the soundscape is so important.
Absolutely, yeah.
In it, how much of that was present for you on the day recording, and how much of that was just added in post-production?
It's a lot of post-production, and it was important for us because the shoot was the main thing. I think the summer shoot was shoot in Auschwitz, in very close to the concentration camp, not in the original house. The house still exists, but it was not possible. There's only one scene we shot in the basement of the house when I wash my genitals. But most of the scenes we shot in a rebuilding very close to the original concentration camp. And this area was very important, not only for Jonathan and his team or for this vision, important for us as actors too. And we know there will be a lot of post-production. There will be a lot of visual effects, a lot of sound effects. You say that because this movie, you can watch this movie and you can hear a different movie. It's two movies in one movie, and that's really exciting. And but when we shoot the scenes, we never heard anything.
Right.
So it's very important because we act. I think this shoot was like a search for normality, for the banality of evil, for ordinary life, sometimes boring. And we were alone in this house, surrounded by a multi-camera system, 360 degrees, and with different angles. And we never know where are the cameras and what camera or angle is important. But it was not important for us to know that. And in the garden, for example, the wall was there, the garden was there. It was an amazing set design, but there was a green screen and all these additional things. I was really surprised when I saw the movie for the first time and hear all the sound effects.
Yeah.
And this combination, it's an experience.
It's very haunting to experience it alongside it. I think overall, your character in the story kind of serves a well, he's a servant to the larger story that is going on. How do you go about then finding your character when maybe your character definitely goes beyond the wall that we never get to see? How much does he bring back, and how do you get there for your character?
It was a challenge to create this character, and the most important things for me were the conversations with Jonathan and Sandra. We had a lot of conversations. We had to postpone the shoot because of the COVID situation. We had a lot of time for preparation and investigation, and to create this character, because we want to see this commandant as an evil person. We want to see the perpetrator, but we don't see him like that. He's a father, he's interested in nature. And Jonathan said one time to me, the most important thing to create this character is when you speak the truth, then lie with your eyes. And if your eyes tell the truth, then lie with your mouth. And this is a combination, because I was not allowed to share an emotion, too much emotion, or too much, and sometimes the thoughts. When I was at the work, I have this all in my head, and I have a lot of subtexts in my head, but I was not allowed to share this with the audience, and that was a really great challenge. I was deep inside of me, and that was sometimes really intense and really special.
I think the film is modern in many ways. Like you said, there are cameras all around the house. It has a modern look.
Yes.
Obviously, the setting isn't. And how relevant do you think this story is for maybe a 24-hour news cycle where everything seems extremely close and we get to have that wall between the atrocities that still happen in the world? Is that something that also came through while you were shooting the film, or was it this like self-contained thing?
I think it's really important to see and watch this movie as a modern movie. It's not only a movie about an incredible crime, an unbelievable crime, the Holocaust. It's not a movie with this historical context. It's a movie about us, and the decisions we made defines us. And we live in very complicated political times. And yeah, it's really interesting. The decision of this family was, we want to have a family. The father wants to be a good worker, a good bureaucrat, wants to do the best for the system. And it's horrible, we know that. But sometimes if you translate it in our times, or if the political system change, what's your decision in this? And we all have this inside of us. It's not important what religion we have or sexuality or something. It's inside of us. Jonathan said there are two wolves inside of us, a good wolf and a bad wolf, and which wolf we feed the most will dominate us. And I think this is for me the most important thing in this film, because this was the reason Jonathan wants to. He works with natural light, with very sharp cameras, and observe this. Sometimes he said it's Big Brother in a Nazi house, and but it's important because this is the relevance for us today, to see ourselves and to question or to ask, do we learn from our history? Do we? I hope, but yeah,
I feel like that's a perfect place to end it here. Go experience the film yourself. It's great. We can both say it's great, right? You were in it.
Cool.
I saw it already twice. It's amazing. So thanks so much.
Cool. Thank you so much.